today. Um, Not because of the topic, women in cinema, but Merchant Chamber of Commerce and Industry is headed now as a president by a woman, which is truly, first in history, uh, which is truly very fulfilling, and it's a very proud moment for all of us. So first of all, I want to just give the big hand to Preeti Sulekha. Where is Preeti? So, Preeti কোথায় গেল? Oh, okay. So this is here out and loud for you, Preeti. So I think we should give a very big hand so that Preeti listens to it. We have been family friends for a very long time, and I think Imami group and Preeti and their family, they've just made a very big example in the commerce industry, and I think which is absolutely commendable, and I should give it to them for the women in the family. Let us come to the industry, and there's women in the family who have actually made all the differences happen. Of course, under the tutelage of Agarwalji, Goenkaji, but after that, the torchbearer, I can say, the women in the family has taken up the KCC by Aditya's wife. And of course, Preeti has been a very big inspiration there. So I've seen the family grow with I've been watching them since a very long time. So my association is very deep with them. So, and of course, the ladies of the family are very resourceful, I must say. So, so that's part of that. I wanted to mention that part because today Preeti is doing it all, and she has requested me to be here today to talk about women in cinema, on screen and behind the cinema. That's the topic. Of course, we got a lot of insight from Xenia. Thank you for this wonderful updates. I think I also didn't know about it, but I think this is something very informative what you did, and the kind of journey you have shared with everyone is fantastic. And thank you, Shibu, for acknowledging me. For I think that is I often been very supportive with my folks who wants to do something bigger in life. So I've always held their hand, and Shibu and me, we are friends from donkey's years, and I think I actually identified the talent what he has, and I wanted him to come here and gift himself to this industry. So I think he's a gift. He and Nandita Roy are the gift of this industry, who have actually made a lot of difference in not only Bangla film industry but Indian films, which actually has taken their reference to make Hindi films from their subjects. So I give it to them, Shibu. And Nandita, I think the kind of insight, the kind of sensitivity what Nandita has when she writes the reckoner, once she gets into the script, it is divine, because I have acted in many of their films, and I think every film which I did with them has created history. Be it Muktodhara, be it Olikshuk, be it Prakton, be it Bela Sheshe, Bela Shuru, where all the women in those films were actually very commendable in their own ways, and they have actually said or has reflected new light to the society with their immense depth, conviction, and obviously overtly new ways they have shown to the society. So I think I'm quite happy and fulfilled working with entire Windows production, and of course Nondita Dia and Shiva Prasad. And now we have a new director here, Jinia, who has actually also directed a few films with Aritra. And I think she's also empowering the company with her own dedication and insights. So what I want to say that if we go back a long way, we have seen child artists in cinema who has been an inspiration also, who were women, who were little girls like Tinku Thakur, কাবুলিওয়ালা। ওই সময় কিন্তু সত্যজিৎ রায়ের ওই ছবিতে ঠাকুর বাড়ির মেয়ে, সরি আমাদের তপন সিনহার ছবিতে সেই সময় ঠাকুর বাড়ির মেয়ে কিন্তু অভিনয় করেছিলেন, টিঙ্কু ঠাকুর, যিনি কাবুলিওয়ালায় একদম চাইল্ড আর্টিস্ট হিসেবে অভিনয় করেছিলেন, ইজন্ট ইট? শর্মিলা ঠাকুরের বোন। এবং সেটা কিন্তু একটা তখনকার ওই সময় এটা একটা দারুণ একটা হ্যাঁ মাইলস্টোন তো বটেই, আর তখন একটা দারুণ একটা মানে একটা এক্সাম্পল সৃষ্টি করেছিল যে ওই রকম সময় এত কনজারভেটিভ ফ্যামিলিতে যখন তারা বিলং করে, কিন্তু তখনও কিন্তু ওই ছোট মেয়েটি ওই ছবিতে অভিনয় করেছিল। এবং পরবর্তীকালে উনি হয়তো আর অভিনয় করেননি, কিন্তু কোথাও উনি একটা রাস্তা দেখিয়ে দিয়ে গেছিলেন অন্যদের, যেগুলো কিন্তু তারপরে অনেকে এসছে, যেরকম সারিকাকে আমরা দেখেছি খুব ছোটোবেলায় অভিনয় করতে, এবং সিনেমাতে এই যে বাচ্চাদের মেয়ে বাচ্চাও যে সিনেমাতে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করেছে সেই সময় শ্রীদেবীর একটা হিউজ স্ট্রাগল আছে। ছোট বয়স থেকে শ্রীদেবী কিভাবে তার ফ্যামিলিকে সাপোর্ট করেছে অভিনয় করে, হেমা মালিনী। তো এগুলো কিন্তু খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং এক্সাম্পলস, যেখানে উইমেন ইন সিনেমাকেও আমরা এখানে একটা কোথাও না কোথাও গিয়ে রিলেট করতে পারি, যে অনেক ইনফ্যাক্ট আমরা সেদিন আমি একটা বায়োপিক দেখছিলাম, we just saw this, I don't know whether Jinia has seen that biopic of Savitri Devi, which has been done by Kirti Suresh, and she has won a national award. So I was just investing a little bit on that how this little girl fought so many battles to come up as a superstar of Indian cinema, and she was one of the rages of that time, called Savitri. Gemini Ganeshaner second wife, Savitri, এবং যার আরেক স্ত্রীর মেয়ে হচ্ছে রেখা। এবং সেই সময়টা ভারতপ্রিয়া, সো সেই সময়টা আমি দেখছিলাম যে লাইক there are a lot of examples what we can take where female actors, how they have also emerged with so much of fight, so much of taboos from the society. It's not even like, I cannot fathom, or we cannot like analyze how difficult it was back in those days. Now things have eased out because they have actually given that platform, that strength to us to actually see and overview everything in a new light. But that time there was only shadow and darkness in their lives. Nothing could be that, nothing was hunky-dory at that moment. Coming to the choreographers like Saroj Khan, je ajke bibhotsho mane naam onar. Saroj ji had such fights in her life. She was abandoned by her husband. She married a man who was her teacher, who was like 20 years older to her, and then how she was completely abused when she was a little dancer. যখন একটা গ্রুপের মধ্যে she used to dance, she was abused by people, and then how she struggled to become a choreographer, and how then she got married, and then how she was abandoned by her husband. Again she put her act together and kept up the fight, and then she became such a renowned choreographer of Indian cinema. So I think the shares of struggles are very big, and of course, that time, from that time we have seen choreographers, filmmakers coming up. I mean, women filmmakers, choreographers, music directors, lot of people, lot of politics happened in the music industry. Lot of big names, I don't want to take those names, they have actually suppressed the singers, the other singers who wanted to just, who was like very promising, who was coming up, and they faced so much of hatred, so much of so much of discrimination from the music directors also. So I think in this discriminatory part, I think there's a lot of struggle which went on and on and on, but still women didn't leave. They actually fought till the end and sort of set a platform for all of us to be here and work in an equal platform with men. But the struggle was very much there from ages, from the time Jinya was mentioning, and I think till today there is a bit of that still, but I think things are better right now, but still there is discrimination, still people are like talking about the men folk first and the women folk later. But I think extraordinary work is happening with the women in the cinema, and they have actually put a very brave front, and they have said that nothing doing, men would be men and women would be women. So they have accepted it, but too much is happening on the women front right now, and I think they're doing extraordinary work, and we are all getting inspired by the women who are working here. And I think আমাদের আজকে যে জায়গাটা, এই অবস্থানটা তৈরি করেছে যেই মহিলারা, যাদের থেকে we have taken inspiration, I think they are very much revered and they are very respectful, যাদের ছাড়া আজকে আমরা এই জায়গাটায় আসতে পারতাম না. As cinematographers, as Shivu said, I mean, recently I've done a film called Dabaru from his company, and that lady Modhura Palit, she's making ripples right now. She's doing great work. I think she has directed a film also. And then of course our global icon Priyanka Chopra, I think she has actually sort of set an example which nobody did. And one thing I loved what she said a few days back, that I don't want to take my success of that place where I belonged in India, that she is a superstar in India. I didn't want to take my success to the new country where I was beginning. So that was such a great statement, that I didn't want to take my baggage of success where I'm going to start off new to that other country. So I think such a modest statement what she did, and I think that's why she's so successful, that she started as a newcomer in an absolutely new country with new people, with new kinds of norms and rules, and a set of rules which was unknown to her. I think I think these are the parameters I feel we should discuss about how to manage success, how to do the struggle, and how to also create an example and be successful. So that's a very interesting dynamic of a journey of a woman in cinema. Behind the cinema, I mean behind the camera, also she has a journey as another personality, but to balance these two things, to balance the both sides is a very, very difficult thing, but I think women are doing with it too much of ease, and I think they're very smart enough to deal with these things right now. taking all the hazards and hassles over. Over to you.
Yeah,